Welcome to the Explainer. Have you ever had one of those days where it feels like you're fighting your own desk just to get anything done? Well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to break down two really powerful ideas, 5S and Kaizen, into simple, practical steps you can actually use to master your own efficiency.
So let's just dive right in with that question. Whether you're at a desk that's piled high with paper, on a cluttered factory floor, or just staring at a totally chaotic computer desktop, that feeling of wrestling with your own environment, it's a real thing. And the good news is, it's a totally solvable problem.
You see, that feeling of inefficiency, it actually has a name. It's a hidden enemy that is constantly draining our time, our energy, and our resources. And just being able to spot it, well, that's the first critical step toward fixing it. In Japanese, this hidden enemy is called muda. And this is such a powerful concept because it's not just about throwing away physical trash. No, muda is any activity at all that eats up resources. We're talking your time, your company's money, your mental energy, without creating a single ounce of value for the person you're doing the work for. Okay, so what does this muda, this waste, actually look like when we're going about our day? Well, the tricky thing is it's usually hiding in plain sight. Lean management has pinned down 7 classic types, and I'm willing to bet you're going to recognize a few of these.
All right, let's look at the first 4 because they are everywhere. You know when you email a file back and forth 10 times instead of just using a shared link? That's transport. An inbox with 1,000 unread messages? That's inventory. Having to walk all the way across the office every single time you need a stapler? That's motion. And my personal favorite, just staring at a loading bar on your screen, that is pure 100% waiting.
And the list goes on. These last 3 are interesting because they show how even our best intentions can create waste. You know, printing 100 copies of a handout just in case, that's overproduction. Spending hours adding complicated charts to a report that nobody even asked for, that's overprocessing. And of course, any typo, any bug, any mistake that makes you do the work all over again, well, that's a defect. It's all moot.
Okay, so we've identified the enemy. We can see it now. What's our battle plan? How do we fight back? Well, it all starts with adopting the right mindset, a philosophy that actually empowers everyone to be part of the solution.
And that mindset is Kaizen. Now, this isn't some big one-time project that managers force on everyone. No, it's a culture of continuous improvement. The core belief is that huge results actually come from a whole bunch of small changes made over time. And, this is the important part, the person actually doing the job is the best person to figure out how to improve.
So if we have the right mindset, Kaizen, what's the actual practical tool we can use to start getting rid of all that waste? What can we do on Monday morning? This is where the foundation comes in. To really see how all these pieces, the goal, the mindset, the method, fit together, let's use a really simple analogy. Think about building a house.
So the house itself, that's our ultimate goal. We call it lean management. It's a system designed from top to bottom for one single purpose, to maximize value by systematically getting rid of all that muda we just talked about.
Now, the people living in that house, the ones who make it a home, they have the Kaizen mindset. They're constantly looking for little ways to make things better, safer, more efficient, day in and day out.
And here's the most important part of the whole analogy. You cannot build a strong house on a shaky foundation. The solid ground that supports everything, the entire lean structure, the Kaizen mindset, is the 5S system. It's the practical, hands-on discipline that holds the entire thing together. Okay, so let's get our hands dirty. How do we actually build that foundation? Let's break down the 5S method step by step. So it all starts with sort. That means being ruthless about getting rid of what you absolutely do not need. Then you set in order. You know the old saying, a place for everything and everything in its place. Next up is shine. Now this is about cleaning, sure, but it's really about inspection. Think about it. You can't spot a problem like an oil leak on a dirty machine. Then you standardize those first 3 steps so they just become automatic. And finally, sustain. And this is often the hardest part. You turn the whole thing into an unbreakable, long-term habit. And please don't think for a second this is just for manufacturing. Tossing out an old, dusty manual, that is the exact same principle as deleting or archiving old files on your computer. Labeling a tool drawer is the same idea as having a clear, logical folder structure for your projects. 5S is a universal framework for getting organized and being efficient. So after all this sorting and setting and standardizing, what's the point? Why go through all that effort? Well,
The benefits are real, they're tangible, and trust me, they go way beyond just having a tidy desk.
The results are really powerful, and they tend to build on each other. It's like a chain reaction. A safer workplace means fewer accidents. More efficiency means you stop wasting time searching for things. That leads to higher quality work, because standardized processes mean fewer mistakes. And maybe the most important one, you get better morale. A clean, organized, functional space is just less stressful, and it gives people a real sense of pride and control.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. 5S is not just about cleaning up. It's a deliberate, systematic framework. It's about consciously designing your workspace, whether it's physical or digital, for the specific purpose of enabling high-performance work. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Look, you don't have to tackle this all at once. Just look at your own workspace right now. Your desk, your computer desktop. What's the one thing you can sort today to start your own journey of continuous improvement?